Alright, boys and girls, today we're going to work on the letter N. You'll notice where the 1 starts. It starts just like we did for the M, coming down, back up with the hump. Oh, but look, we don't have the extra hump. It's just that 1 hump. We come down, add the tail. So basically the capital N looks just like the capital M minus 1 extra hump. So this one should be really easy considering we just did the M, which if we think about it, the M would have been harder given that it did have the extra hump in it. So now today we just got to remember to not put the extra hump in the N. So these should not take us very long at all. But again, if you're still not sure, it's not going as easily for you, then take your time. Do not rush. You've got plenty of time to learn this letter. We've got plenty of practice coming up. We'll get plenty of practice with these. Okay, let me highlight this last one. And then the one on the next line, down, up, and tail. All right. A few more of these in here with the tail. Alright, let's highlight this last one here. And let's look at some words that start with a capital N. Here we have November. November, that's a month. Nan, that could be someone's name. Nevada. Nevada. Okay, that's a name of a city. Here is Nick. So here are some words starting with capital N's. All right, so let's start with a few here. We've got Ember. Okay, all of these letters, except for the R there, are all letters we've done. Well, and the V too, we haven't gotten to that one yet. But be careful and watch your joinings as you go to each letter. Watch those and make sure that they're connecting as you see in the example that you were given. And take your time looking carefully at these examples to see that you're matching up pretty well. All right, so no, Ember. This one gives us good practice again on that M with the 3 humps. R at the end, November. All right, here we had Nan, An, 2 humps. Here's our word here, N, And again, let me remind you, when you make your A, you go around to the 2 o'clock time we talked about at the beginning of the year, and then go back to your left and make it like you normally do in print. Some of you are going to 2 o'clock and then looping this way back around, and that is not the correct way to make it. You wind up doing a really dark circle that way. And again, it slows you down in your cursive. You don't really want to do that. Cursive is actually a pretty quick way to write if we do it correctly. So again, make sure you learn it correctly. All right, here's Nevada. There's A making that 3rd sound again. A's making its 3rd sound in this word. It's not Nevada, Nevada. It's Nevada. Nevada. That's the name of a city. Okay, so let's get started here with that Okay, and then we have Nick. almost making that k sound in Nick. Actually, CK together are making that k sound. And don't forget that little section right in there with your K. A lot of you find that tricky when you're doing that. And don't forget to go back and dot the I. Alright, for the N, again, it's a lot like the M was, except one less hump. So we start at 1, going up to the dash line, down, back up to the dash line, up, and stop. Up to the dash line, up to the dash line, up to the dash line, stop. Okay, so let's get a few of these. And should be pretty easy. Again, after doing that M, these should feel pretty easy. But again, take your time, do them neatly. The neater you are now, and the more you keep practicing neatly, then that's when you can start working on your speed and getting faster with it. But you've got to make sure you're making them correctly first. We're not going to draw them quickly if you're not drawing them right to begin with. I'm going to get a few more of these in. I'm drawing them kind of quickly, I know, but I want to go ahead and at least try to get as much as I can done in this video for you before we run out of time and the announcements start. And again, if you don't get a chance to finish these today, you can make them up on Friday, going back to the paper and finishing them up. If you do not have time today, you're okay. No rushing, please. Now, if you do get to these words, you have neatness, 9, tunnel, which is actually the correct way we would normally say it when we're talking to someone, is tunnel, and then none, which looks like known. To a lot of kids, when they first see this word, they say known, thinking that E is making the O say its second sound, and that wouldn't make sense. But if we were to read a sentence that said, none of them were finished with their test, then hopefully we would know, oh, that's not known, that's none. None of them were finished with their test. So again, we're going to start here with the lowercase n with the hump. E comes next. EA is actually making an E sound here. N, eat, n, s. Neatness. And hopefully you have a lot of neatness on your paper. It's very important to be neat in your work. Neatness. Back and cross that T. Alright, we have 9. The E, small loop for the E, and dot the I. Ein. Okay, and then we have tunnel is what it looks like, but if you think about it, if we said we drove through the tunnel, hopefully you would stop and think, that's not how I say it, it's actually tunnel when I say it. That is not the way it's spelled. So again, if you want to sound it out the way it's written, and then listen to see how it matches up with the way we talk. Again, reading has a lot to do with listening to what we're saying. Reading is not all just looking at the words and figuring them out with your eyes. A lot of the job that you're doing with reading is listening to yourself or to others to make sure that what's being read does make sense. And again, this one right here, known, is what a lot of you will say when you see this one. A lot of kids have trouble with this word, but what usually helps is having it in a sentence. This is the word none. Okay, if you have time, you can finish up with Nicole needed 9 new nails, and Nate was running until noon. Again, periods at the end, and then also there are some extra practice letters at the bottom if you have time. Again, if you do not get to that today, you can do that Friday.